Peace, y'all. This is Ashe. Again, all about paradigm shifts and life force rejuvenation. I want to talk about some of the paradigm shifts I got from Las Vegas. I'm gonna flip it a little bit. So, the last paradigm shift that I got, or download, right, as we call them in the those of us that are into esoterics and stuff like that. The last download that I got is how abundant the breath is. Las Vegas is all about money and man, there's just a plethora of money around me, like a plethora of abundance. And I got to see how people do business on the strip. And I love seeing how people do business. I love seeing how people hustle. Um, and it just opens my mind to different ways of how money can be generated and how money is looked at and things like that. So when all of those downloads that I'm going to get to later I got through, and yeah, I'm a little unaligned right now in my body, so don't worry about that. But I realized how abundant the breath is, right? Because when you don't have any money, when you don't have anything, like maybe you don't have a support system, you might not have the right friends around you, maybe family, whatever it is, right? If you have life, then you have your breath. And when you know how to, I want to say alchemize, but I feel like all the abundant things that you can do with your breath, you guys know. And even though my Saturn hasn't fully kicked into being fully consistent with breath work and meditation, right? I'm not at that Saturn point yet, right? Still, just tapping in when you can or when you feel it, or whatever it is still very, very crucial, because tapping into different ways of accessing the breath and turning on certain energy centers with your breath. And we could go on and on of all the different things your breath can do, all the different points that you have in your hand, and what they can allow you to do, and just on and on, the acupressure of everything, right? And that's without even tapping into your herbs, right? That's without tapping into your vitamins and your medicine. What abundant energies can you access with just your body? With just touching your toes every day, things like that. Las Vegas, it turned something on in me where I realized how abundant we are as ourselves, right? And how we don't, the media doesn't, like, we don't tap enough into our own abundance, right? Getting flexible with all the different things we can do with the breath work, getting flexible with all the different points we have just on our body, getting flexible with our mantras and calling stuff in, right? So I said to myself, wow, you literally can tap into abundance every day just by tapping into your breath, right? Let me get my daughter real quick. So that's what I really wanted to share with you all. Tapping into your abundance every day by tapping into your breath work, by tapping into your acupressure, by touching your toes, by being flexible, working out, things that people cannot take from you. It does not matter if they lay you off of your job. It doesn't matter if people are disloyal. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't matter if you don't have food to eat tonight, if you don't have shelter tonight. You can, create more flexibility for yourself and your body. You can, even if you are paralyzed, I wouldn't wish that on any of us, paralyzed, going blind, or if you are blind. I unfortunately heard someone speaking on that on the phone, unfortunately, you know, and the person on the other side of the phone had to tell her, hey, like, you could still touch your kids, you could still taste food. And who wants to hear that? Who wants to hear that, when they lose their eyesight? I doubt most of us want to hear that. But, uh, you know, whatever situation that you're in, right? Just know that your breath work will tap you into an abundance. And abundance is not always getting a check. And that's that. Now we're going to go back to my paradigm shift in Vegas, right? You know, yeah, go ahead, wear a dress. That sounds good. You left the dress upstairs. Sometimes, you know, it's not always about having the check, having the money. You know, it could be your village. Like, my husband did my hair for Vegas, and that's $200 I saved, right? Because he did my hair. Was it perfect? No. It was frizzy on the top, and I had to, you know what I mean? I had to try and make it work. And the braids got frizzy, right? But it was an intimate moment. It was, you know, it was something special. It made me appreciate him even more. And like, maybe it was better than paying $200 for my hair, right? Or somebody buys you a drink, or you like, abundance comes in so many different ways. So many different ways. It could just be having a conversation with someone and they put you onto game. Okay, like, it's not all about money. And who knew that being in Las Vegas I think people think Las Vegas is like, it's superficial and materialistic, and the water costs $6. One second, let me put my daughter's dress on. Right? So it was such a beautiful trip, and I got to really see how people do business and how people hustle out there, and why they, you know, location, of course, but the art in Vegas, you know, how they have it's just I love the customer service. I always love the customer service in Vegas. Yeah, so it's just really nice visiting as a tourist, for sure. I can't speak as a local, but as a tourist, you know, it's always nice to go to Vegas. And yeah, I just hope to bring some of that abundant energy to you guys, okay? No matter where you're at, again, tapping into your breath. If you have access to clean water, really, you know, taking advantage of having access to clean water. If you have access, because here in Los Angeles, oh my God, the food, ugh. But okay, like, really look at what you have access to. That it's not about a check, again. It's not about money, again. Like, what do you have access to that makes you abundant? Really tap into it. Lean into it, okay? I love you guys so much. I hope this gave you the paradigm shift and the life force rejuvenation for your journey. And I'm always honored to be on this journey with you guys, okay? All right, bye.